Yo, dog almost died, but stop scrolling real quick. I am JohnnyB the Shooter, and I have today's guest, the Real Slim Katy, coming to you.
Hi.
With the awkwardness.
Stop scrolling.
Yeah, stop scrolling. Episode 8. We're about to get into it. Check it out. Yeah. New shit. All right. Welcome back to the Stop Scrolling podcast. This is JohnnyB the Shooter, your host, and hold on. Fuck that up. Okay. Okay. Welcome to Stop... Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I'm usually good at this. All right, here we go. All right, welcome to the Stop Scrolling podcast, episode 8. I am JohnnyB the Shooter, your host, and today's guest is the Real Slim Katy. She is a painter based out of Dallas, and if you've ever seen stuff being posted that's like Backwoods paintings and stuff, this is the person that actually produces that stuff. So go ahead and let the people know who you are and what you do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm Katy. I go by the Real Slim Katy, and I am a painter. I'm trying to do more than just paint, but for now, yeah, people just know me by like the Backwoods. Well, yeah.
So how did you, did you start painting, or do you have a history in art?
Yeah, I didn't start painting. I started painting like 2014.
Okay.
So
Any type of painting that you were doing back then?
The type of painting? What do you mean?
Yeah, like right now you're doing realistic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, were you starting?
It's always been realistic.
Realistic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's been like a mix of like realistic and like cartoon kind of.
Right.
I don't know what my style
pop culture
is. Yeah.
Type thing? Yeah.
I really don't know what my style is, but I'm really good at like realistic things, like putting them in paper. But I also love like color, like pop art.
Yeah.
Like a mix.
Yeah. Because I have like a little background in painting. Like I've always grown up drawing and stuff like that. But color is hard for me, especially blending. Yeah. So like any painting that I've done is like pop culture, like one color thing and then outline it with like black or whatnot.
That's actually really hard.
For real? Yeah,
because like getting straight lines is hard.
Well, like I also have like a background in architecture too, like straight lines all day. But like I've never been able to. That's why oils kind of scares the shit out of me.
I've never done oil.
Because I can just do acrylic because it doesn't blend as well, I guess, as oil. But yeah, so go ahead, tell us how you started and where you started. Like, did you start in high school and stuff?
I've started since like I can remember.
Oh,
well,
yeah?
I didn't just like start. Like I went to school in San Francisco when I was younger, and over there the art like, how do you say it? The art program in their schools are very big. Like they focus a lot on art and stuff. So I remember our school when I was in kindergarten or pre-K, they like let all the kids like paint something outside the school. So like the whole school was kind of
dope. That's dope. Really creative.
Yeah, and ever since then, like I remember that was like my favorite art class. That like I was like, oh shit, like I'm good at this.
Yeah.
But
so they kind of exposed all you kids real early.
Yeah.
Cause I went to school down like in Fort Hood and stuff, and like we did like more crafty stuff as opposed to painting. And I don't know why. Like I didn't really get into painting till after, like as I was in college.
Yeah.
Like
same.
before that, it was just like, well, I like to draw, but like that's all I was doing was like graphite on paper, black and white shit. Which made it easy for me to, like, get started. But as opposed to, like, getting the colors down, I don't know why color is so hard for me to, like, put together. Like, color schemes and stuff like that. It's hard for me to understand for some reason.
What? Yeah. I mean, I can see that because a lot of people do ask me about, like, how do you pick your colors? And, like, even this one close friend I have, he told me if I've ever taken a color class, like, you know how they have, like, the color wheel and then the opposite color is, like...
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, I guess just I'm a girl and, like, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can see that because we had to learn the color wheel and shit in architecture, like, first year. And it's just like, fuck this. Like... I just did it because I was kind of copying other people. But if I had to do it on my own, that's not something like I can do space and shadows and stuff in black and white. But once it comes to color, it's just not my forte. So like, what type of art are you wanting to do other than the realistic?
Other than realistic?
Yeah.
I don't think as in like that case I want to stick to that, but I meant like I want to like make a business.
Oh,
so
okay,
I want
I
to do like I want to put my art on, like shirts and like grinders and I want to go deep into like the smoking community.
Right.
Like I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
Just because I love smoking and like I think that would be the coolest job, you know.
Right.
Do like combine that and get paid or something?
With your little background with California, I feel like that could be a viable option for your art, because I feel like a lot of people I've seen a lot of people that are doing the paintings and stuff, transferring their art onto different mediums to be able to like I guess reproduce and sell and stuff. So I've always seen like the lighters and the grinder's a good idea, and like maybe you can do like a backpack or something.
Yeah, like anything you can put something like not my face but like my brand on it. I would do that.
Yeah. So who created your logo?
Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's something.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it because it's like it's. I know it's you because I know that logo by now, you know.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I can't. it's hard for me to make logos and be happy with it. Like this whole podcast, I'm like, okay, I got the green screen to do a color, but I'd rather have like my logo.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, because that would be dope. Because like then it'd be every episode, you know, to take up like the space and stuff in the middle. But so like, did you have any inspiration other than that school allowing you guys to paint everything to push you into the medium of visual arts?
Yes, my parents.
Oh yeah? What is your background first off?
I'm Latina.
Okay.
Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't look like it.
Yeah, because like I was like, she looks kind of Hispanic.
Yeah.
I can see it a little bit, but then
I get like Arabian.
Yeah, you
Indian,
look kind of Middle Eastern as well.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I get everything but like Hispanic. Like when people hear me speak Spanish, they're like, "Oh shit, like you speak Spanish." Like,
hell yeah. So you grew up in Dallas?
Yeah.
Or for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part. Like I was raised in Dallas because I left California whenever I was coming into first grade. So I was like 7, 8.
Damn, so
yeah.
It was like really young. That's crazy. That's something that happened way back when. Stuck with you till now.
I remember like, honestly, I feel like I would have been a different person, or maybe like my career path would have been different if I would have stayed in California, because I feel like the schools over there really focus on like arts. Like more the creative the creative arts. Like over here, not so much. Like my high school, I didn't have any art classes. Like I never took an art class, a serious art class, until I was a freshman in college.
Where?
Oh, because I went to a program. It's called Early College High School. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like in Brookhaven College, but it's like a high school.
I actually know. I went to Brookhaven. I saw a whole bunch of high school kids and shit. Like I was like, I was actually kind of annoyed. Walking through them and shit.
No, I don't blame you.
God damn, but what year were you in Brookhaven?
I was there. I graduated 2014, so I think I was there 2010 to 2014.
Okay, so I was there too at that time.
Yeah.
So I probably like passed you. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's wild.
Fuck, dude.
I know.
Because I was going there in like 2012, 13 or so, and I was like taking Spanish class because my girlfriend at the time was like younger than me and like just getting into college.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to UNT to like pursue the film stuff, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want all these girls to be like, hey, can you take my picture and shit?" So I was like, fuck, I'll just stay here another year and wait for you. And we ended up breaking up. And I was like, well, that was a waste. And I never ended up going up to UNT to do more schooling. Because I kind of realized, like, with art, going to school in the beginning to learn it is essential because you need someone to teach you. Like, if you don't have, like, an influence, like parents or someone.
I feel like, yes, if you're not, like, already just naturally talented.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it helps you also like hone your skills and techniques and shit.
Yes, a lot so, because I did learn a lot in the class I took college. Like that was the very first class I ever took, and I learned a lot. Like I thought I'm always like, I think everybody's like this. I hope, like really cocky. Like I'm just really good at what I do. Like, you know what I mean? But that's helped me.
I wouldn't say cocky. I would say confident.
Yeah,
like
confident.
You're confident in your ability. Yeah.
Like I was really confident in like art. Like I don't know. But whenever I was younger, my parents, even like my teachers, they would like to tell them like, hey, she's gifted, like you need to put her in classes.
Yeah.
And I never realized that like my parents didn't do that now, because like they didn't have the money for it. Like we were really, poor, but like
art is expensive to start up for sure.
But they were really like, they noticed, like they're like but they're like growing up in like a Hispanic household, they see as coming to America like you have to go to school and that's it. Like you have to go to school and that's how you're gonna get a career, and that's how you're gonna get out the hood, and like like that's the only option. They never told me like, oh, you can be successful with your art, like you can do this. So that kind of like held me back a lot because I never knew I could do that until I actually discovered like Twitter and Instagram, and I put my art on there, and everybody was like, yo, like let me buy this. I'm like, what?
No, like with so I was gonna ask you when you were talking about that. Like, I'm half Korean, half German. Mostly raised by my mom, Korean, and like they have the same mindset. The Asians like go to school, be a lawyer, a doctor, blah blah blah. Which I'm not like inclined to do any of that stuff. Like I've always grown up with like an artistic ability, and I think that's based off of like my grandfather on my German side. Like he was a painter and artist and stuff like that. And like I always loved to draw because I was always watching like cartoons and like these guys like playing action figures and shit when I was a kid. So I was always just doodling, and like in the Asian community, like that's what they want you to do, like something corporate type shit. Like what is it with Hispanics? Like you go to school, and then is there like a certain avenue that people tend to pursue over others like that?
No, as far as I know, they just want you to go to school for anything that's gonna make you money.
Right.
Like they don't care. Like it's funny because my sister is older than me, and she's the total opposite with me. Like I'm the artistic one, and she's like the book smart. Like she's so smart. She actually like got her bachelor's. But you know what's funny? Like she got her bachelor's and everything, and she's not even working towards her degree.
That's That's
so
something that happens nowadays.
And I also feel like as a parent, to be like a Hispanic parent, it's more about like the showing off and the gloating to your family, like oh, my daughter has this degree, and like she has, it's like for them, like
it translates to our culture too, because my mom's always talking about other people's kids around my age that are doing something. She's like, not really saying like, what are you doing, but it's like,
or like, how are you doing? Like, are you happy? Like, because you can have a job and be successful, but you're like miserable.
I wish I was like a couple podcasts ago, but I was like, I wish I was the kid that was smart enough to be like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be happy type shit. Like, instead of, oh, I want to be a firefighter or a cop or whatever.
Or like, know that there's other stuff, like, oh, you can be a social media influencer, you can be famous, you can do this, like, I wish somebody would have sparked my, like, business creativity sooner, because I never knew that people can have jobs. Like, it sounds so stupid, right? Like, you grow up watching TV, but you're never like, I can be that. I can do that.
Well, also, they don't teach you that in,
that's what
school, especially so public school. It's just like, they teach you the same stuff over and over every year, and it's like, you're not really teaching me the essentials of life. Like, I see a lot of kids in high school, like, all depressed and shit, and I'm like, man, I remember being back then. It's like, life really doesn't start until you graduate and you're in the real world, because then you get to be exposed to everything. Because, like, when I'm a kid, I didn't know there was all this shit that we can do now to make money or even be successful. It's like you said with the parents, their generations, like, you go to work, you make money and that's how you live because generational. But like luckily, it's really crazy with our generation, like with all the technology that we have available to us. We can create anything we want, be anything we want, and present that to show other people that they can do that as well. Like that's that's my main thing is like helping facilitate other people to like do what they want to do in life and be happy. Because I have like my best friend, he like runs a home health care and hospice and stuff like that. And he's like making pretty good bread, but he's like he had a couple kids, like twins too, which is why I have the other dog, the black dog. But he's like stressed a lot, and he's like, man, I need to get away. And like he has the money to take vacations, but it's like he has to take a vacation.
Yeah. But
with us, I feel like even though we're not in that tax bracket or whatnot, we are happy. And he kind of realized that. He said this to me. He was like, man, I kind of look up to you because you're always happy. You know, you always got a smile on your face and you're not stressed. And I'm like, that kind of took me aback because I'm looking at him thinking the same thing, but it's just like the outside I see like, oh shit, like you're making money, you have nice things. But then on the flip side, it's like, what does he have to go through to get all that, you know? And it's like, money's cool and having things is cool, but being happy to me is a lot more fulfilling, you know, and being able to create something.
I think being able to have what you love as a job is like the key of like enjoying, because to be honest, like how they say, you're not working a day in your life if you're happy with your job, you know, like what you're doing. And it's true. Like thank God I don't have a job anymore. I'm just doing art. So
you don't have a day job?
No, not
what
anymore.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, well, I do have a day job, but like I take care of my nephew and I get paid, monthly for that. So, and like I do, things like that. So
that's dope. You have a lot of time to be able to like create.
No, you would think, but I'm a mom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that makes sense. That actually is a lot more intense than a job.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a 24-hour job.
It's never off. So.
And they always want your attention, and like I regret like going. I don't really regret going out, but like I regret wasting a lot of time whenever I didn't have a baby. Just like not doing shit when I could have been painting. Right. But you know what? Like shit, life throws you.
So, how old is your kid?
He's 1 year and 3 months.
Are you hoping like he's artistically inclined as well?
No, I'm not hoping, but like I really don't care. I want to be the type of mom to like, look, like whatever he's good at, or like I want to like focus on that. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to just put him in a box and just be like, you have to do that.
Has he showed any tendencies to go towards anything? Yeah? What?
Painting.
For real?
He gets my paintbrushes and like he like wants to paint something, and
nice.
I have recorded him. I put it online. Yeah. And he also loves music a lot, because I always listen to music like in my house. Now we have internet, but we didn't have internet, so like it was just music all day every day, and he loves to dance and like music, and he actually loves hip hop. Like,
is that what you primarily listen to?
Yeah, nice, hip hop and rap and stuff like that. Yeah,
because I have some of my best friends. Their kids are 2 or close to 2 now. Yeah. And my other homeboy, he had a little boy, and I was like, so what's like? Does he do anything, or he like anything? He's like, yeah, he loves playing music and stuff. Like he has a little guitar, a little toy guitar and shit. I was like, damn, I didn't think kids were doing, because I don't have kids myself, but like, and this is like the first time I'm really being exposed to kids, like just my friends' kids and shit. So I never realized like how consistently and constant they're like learning and absorbing. Yeah. And they're taking in everything. And it's like, whoa, this kid is like already showing like interest of a possible path in life, you know? And I was like, well, I'm almost like his uncle, you know? So it's like I have stuff that I could possibly help facilitate this little child, you know? So that was cool to see the potential of like what the younger generation I can help.
Yeah.
Like our generation or whatnot, like we kind of have, we've already started, I guess you could say. And this is kind of bottlenecking the process to go faster or whatnot. But I never like thought to go past us. Yeah. And to see like kids and then hear about kids and shit doing other stuff, it's like, huh.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
That's the new wave. That's the next generation.
That is the next generation.
We're getting to that point where it's like we are becoming our parents.
I know.
You know, how did you? Have you kind of like taken time to realize that or think about like we're becoming our parents now?
Yes.
Like, we're at that age.
I honestly sometimes I used to like say. Like, I used to butt heads a lot with my mom. Mm-hmm. And then now that I'm older, I realize, like, I'm kind of turning into her. Which is not a bad thing, but I'm just like, I'm just not fun. I'm just kidding. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But...
responsibilities.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I want to be a new generation of mom. Like, I don't want to, you know...
Were your parents, like, strict on you or anything like that?
They were strict to a certain extent. I guess just because I'm a girl.
Are you also first generation in U.S.?
Yeah, first generation. Mm-hmm. So for them, it's honestly, I respect... It was really hard for them because for them, my mom grew up very strict. And, like, with me, they weren't, like, as strict, but they were still strict. And she would always say, like, it was worse for me. Like, you know, my mom didn't let me do this. And I'm like, well, this is America. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Your parents were born in Mexico?
Yeah.
And then they came over here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad was German, and they came over here, and then my mom was in Korea, and they didn't meet, or she didn't come over here till my dad, he was in the military and went over there, and they came back together and stuff, but I was born in Texas, you know, first generation, so, like, the expectation, I feel like, with a generation of parents that's, like, immigrants, they bring like a certain mentality to America because of their perception of it, you know, and it's like our parents kind of put us in a box without realizing, you know, that they are, just because they're like, of course they want us to be successful and happy and healthy and shit like that, but to what extent, like what's the payoff, you know, or not the payoff, but like the exchange of what the child has to do or go through, you know. Yeah. But nowadays we have so many opportunities that, you know, you can let people be free.
Well, I kind of don't blame them because, like, they are first generation and they don't know, like, about the internet and stuff like that. And also, like, I feel like for most parents, like, for them in their eyes, being happy is being successful and making money because they were poor and like they didn't have any money, so for them, like, money is happiness, or like not like, you know,
or the ability or the possibility to be happy,
like to not struggle, like to the American dream, like you can go to school, and like for them their big thing was like you like you were born here, you can go to school, like my mom's like, I would die to go to school, like, your age. And I'm like, well, like, there's other stuff to do here, you know? Like,
it's not just that way of thinking anymore. And that's really, like, fulfilling to think, like, I don't have to go back to school. My mom was pushing me to go back to school so much. Like, I went to architecture school. I went to acting school. It's just because she was, like, trying to help me find avenues. But I'm like, I don't want to anymore. So then I stopped. And I started doing my own stuff based off of what I did learn. But, like, I am grateful that I did go to college because it gave me some type of experience. But for the most part, like, college was just, like, learning how to take tests, really. A money pit. Because, like, with my architecture, I did well in all my architecture classes. But all the required classes, like the math and the physics and English, it's like... I didn't like to waste my time on that, so I didn't, and I didn't really do homework, and my grades suffered for it. Yeah. And those classes that weren't really pertaining to my degree, it's just like a requirement. Like they still affected my other grades or my GPA total. So like my shit just kept going down to the point where they're like, oh, just like take a couple semesters of taking really easy classes to raise your GPA. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
And they were, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm just wasting the scholarship money that I have, luckily, for nothing. And then on top of that, they kept raising the GPA. I was like, fuck, like I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a hole trying to dig myself out.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So then I changed to acting to see if something came out from that, but like in the creative field, like I don't understand how you give a degree to an artist. Like you give them experience and you show them how to do things, but how do you grade someone's art? Like
that's really because I had an art class and then they would grade our art, and you know what, for me the challenge of that class was doing it on time. Because as an artist, you want to do whatever you want to do art when you fucking feel like
that's exactly how I feel.
You know, like you don't like having like that time. That is a job. That is a skill. Like no, like you know, I think that's the hardest thing as an artist. Like doing like commission work and having a deadline and shit like that. Like that shit is stressful for us, but like it's still cool.
Oh
and
shit, you're speaking the truth. Like that. I relate to that so much.
Yeah, like we procrastinate as fuck because we're just like, I want to do it when I want to do it. Okay, hold on. I want to tell somebody to go see your online thing.
Okay.
It's still recording.
But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay, can I be on my phone?
Yeah, you can be on phone. Like I think about that a lot because like I do photography and videos and stuff like that, and that's the main reason why I stopped taking clients was because I like to work on things when I'm inspired to work on things. Like I get interested and I'm like hyped up to take the photos, and I'm doing all this great shit. Like I'm getting these great images, but when I get home, I come home to all this and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to edit them right now. Like I want to do this or I want to do that or I'm gonna do this. Like last night, that's why when you hit me up earlier today, I was sleeping because I was up like almost 24 hours yesterday. I did the podcast, and then after that, I was like working on a song till like 4 or 5 in the morning, not realizing what time it was. And then like I went to sleep and I had shit to do today that like I just had to cancel because I woke up at 10 and I was like, nah, I can't like get out and do that because I don't have the energy type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the hardest thing about turning your art into a business on my perspective is like keeping the deadline for commissions and shit like that. So anytime I do photo shoots, it's like it's for free because it's for me on my time. Yeah. And I tell them like don't expect it to be like a quick turnaround because like there's a couple shoots that I did that it took like almost a year for me to edit them to get to edit them. Not because like I'm not inspired, but it's just like fuck, I got all this shit to do. And I'm doing the podcast and stuff, and like music took primary like my primary energy for a long time, and so the photos or whatnot was just like to kind of keep my skills sharp, and that's whatever. But yeah, that's why I can't like. It's hard for me to monetize my art, you know, for other people.
So you do a lot of stuff. You do, like,
I do painting and stuff too.
What kind of music?
I rap.
Really?
I have the opportunity to perform at Foodpaloozas and stuff whenever I want. Cause like me and Mika, we're tight like that. Like I do all the. Do you know I do all the flyers and stuff?
No.
I do all the flyers. I've done all the flyers since day one, and like the recap videos, I do those as well. So like when I'm at Foodpalooza, I'm working. You know, like I think the first Foodpalooza that I encountered you, I didn't even see you. All you did was like give me your card while I was recording. I was like, oh shit, I got it. And that was like kind of my first exposure to you. But then like I didn't know who gave me the card. You know, I didn't have the face to put to the card. So I didn't know until like I saw you at like maybe the last one sitting with your art, and I was like, oh, that's her. Yeah. So it makes sense now. But yeah, a lot of times like I'm always working on the photos and videos at the event.
I've seen you. I think the first time I saw you was at the first Foodpalooza.
Were you at the first one? Mm-hmm. The very first one?
Was it the one where Chingy performed? Or is that...
Oh, that's not even the first one. Like...
That's the first one I did.
Oh, okay.
And I saw you there. I think I saw you there.
Wait.
I think I did see you there.
No. You were there before Chingy, because Chingy was in the new venue.
What?
You were at the old venue.
Which one? That was the second one, wasn't it?
Something like that, because I was like getting video of someone else's work, or no, something like that. But then like you gave me the card, but it was like the one with the big fish tank there. You know, it had the white and the black side with the walls.
No.
No?
I don't remember. I don't know. I'll have to like go back.
Yeah. But like I saw your stuff, and like your stuff is very like you go to a lot of people's booths and stuff, and you're one of the artists that you can be like, oh, that's a Slim Katy thing.
Really?
You know? And then the other people, like, that's that thing. But there are some other people that are like, this is kind of random. This is like one or two artists or like whatnot. But I like to be able to see and distinguish like, oh, that's someone's work type shit. And I like,
that's dope.
I saw your last thing with like the Charmander on it. I was like, oh shit. I was thinking maybe you can do like a Bulbasaur, you know, with
there's so many more.
Yeah,
coming.
there's so much like with the pop culture, the retro shit's really coming back.
Yeah,
and
that's what I like.
I know that's like our generation is kind of like missing our past, so we're bringing it back, and like even the younger generation's like, oh shit, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
for real. And so I like that it's coming back around, and I get to enjoy all the shit that I grew up with, you know, and be able to produce something that's related to that, and not be like, oh, that's stupid, that's whatever. Because there was that little stereotype a while, like a few years ago, like all that retro shit is like, you know, you got to be on the new wave, you got to be what's new, whatnot. Yeah. So I like that being a creative, we're able to reach into our bag of like memories and make it into current, you know?
Yeah.
Who would ever thought like a Charmander would be on a Backwoods?
See, that's crazy. The way that I paint with like, I get inspired by color. So like whenever I was doing the blue, I was like, Pikachu will look cool on this, like, you know, like that's, and then I did it, and then I was like, shit, I should do like all of them, like, I don't know, like that's, but it's funny because we are, I think, just like, how do you say it, like, just naturally influenced, but we like don't even realize, like, you know, like it's just there, like in the back of our head, and then we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it's cool because like a lot of people are like that too. So what you like and what you're doing, other people like as well. And they don't really realize that until they see it, and they're like, oh shit, because it gives them a feeling of nostalgia, and they remember, and like it's happy. Yeah. You know, it makes people happy, and I think like with the art that you're doing and just like everything that's kind of coincidingly happening together with, especially like the scene that we're kind of in, it's really fun. You know, like these events are super fun. Like I used to go to events a few years ago, and it's just like, well, it's Fubu-Palooza especially because it's like for us. You know, it's like for the creatives, and as opposed to like, oh, it's about, you know, getting clout or making money and shit. It's more like networking and creative, and like I would have never been able to, well, I never would have thought to like hit you up to do something like this, because it's not about the artist, it's about the performer, the headliner type shit. Everyone else is just like, cool, they're there, but I'm here for this type shit. But nowadays it's like you have all this stuff to like take your time, and like you can go through everything, and it'll take the whole night to like network with everyone, which is fun to me, like to be able to, and it's like it becomes a party. And I think for the success of all of us artists, it takes like our art is our child, everyone's child, and we all have to like work together to get that to the forefront. And like the kind of underlying thing that's happening with us as creatives in this area is for this area, and like Dallas is, to me, is kind of up next for creativeness, whether it be like art, visual art, audio art, anything.
I definitely
we have
think
so many things at our disposal.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think so too. Yeah. I don't know. I definitely do think Dallas is up next. Everybody always wants to like move to LA and stuff like that.
Right.
I came from California, so I really don't know as a grown up how it is, you know, if I would go over there. But like I think that wherever you're from, like if you got it, you got it. Like you don't have to like move necessarily like go pursue your dream somewhere else in another state because now there's like social media and like you can like put yourself out there.
You can be international without being international. That's tight.
So I like that. I love social media just because like that's every artist's way to like communicate to everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's definitely gives you that exposure that used to be hard. Like nowadays, like a starving artist isn't really a thing unless you're just not doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like,
yeah. Or like if you don't have the exposure.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so many different avenues nowadays, especially with social media, that you know you can, as long as you're working and you're consistent, you can support yourself. And like, I have a day job just to pay bills and shit. Because most of the creative things that I do, it's like for people, as well as myself. So I take, like, I feel like I'm taking payment from you because I'm getting your time, which I feel like is more important than like if I was to get paid for an interview. Like, I've had a couple people like, oh, how much is it gonna cost? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm not used to that because it's like, I'm helping you, you're helping me, and let's all kind of grow together, and like we can make money on our own, you know. So I really like that aspect of like unity within the creative field, and it took me a while, especially with photography, to not look at someone's work and be like, oh shit, that's trash, or oh shit, I'm better than them, because it's like people be looking at me saying the same thing, but it's like, it was my insecurity of my work to kind of like downplay someone else's work to make myself feel better. But in reality, I thought like, I was like, nah, they're just better at doing what they're doing, and I'm better at doing what I'm doing. Because like, I don't like, like especially with photography, you're on Instagram, I follow a lot of photography people, and it's like, it gets old because everyone's just doing the same thing over and over, to the point where I stopped posting because it's like I have nothing really new that's different from everyone else, because it's kind of really saturated within the art field, but I don't think it's saturated by like true artists. I feel like it's a lot of people coming up imitating who they aspire to be or who they get their influence from, as opposed to like creating your own.
That's very, very true, because there's a point in time where I saw a lot of photographers or like people pursuing photography, and then like that was like when I graduated high school, so that was like 2015, and then now a lot of those people that are not really like loved what they're doing, they're not doing that anymore. So it's like I think it's whoever, like, hey, if you love it and you keep up with it, you can get better. Like you might start off and you might be trash, and like you can get better, but it's just like that consistency, like keeping up with it. And if you actually like love it, because like I think that there's a lot of people, you know how like they say everybody wants to be a rapper, so like everybody wants to be anything, like an artist, like but it's just like if you stick to it, and, like,
you gotta have the right motivation for it. Like it's about
like the love.
Yeah, it's about the love, the passion for creating, as opposed to like a lot of people, like, especially with rappers and stuff, I'm noticing, because I've done a lot of videos and stuff for them, a lot of people focus on the immediate whatever project they're working on because they feel like that will make them blow. And that mentality is already like, you're fucked because you're in it for
the wrong things.
The wrong reasons, you know? And that's why I kind of had to remove myself from that situation, because those people were kind of like rubbing off on me because I was around them so much, doing a lot of work for them, to the point where I was like, whoa, let me take a step back and realize like their world that they're in is so small compared to like reality. And once I was able to do that, I was like, damn, they're so small-minded, but it's not my place to to change anyone else. Like, I'm not taking responsibility for anyone's creative path other than myself. So if they're not open or willing to take that information or be self-aware enough to take that time to see what's going on, then that's an influence that I need to stay away from, because if I can see it but they can't, then there's kind of an issue there.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
Because a lot of people, I feel like, try to blame other people or other things for their shortcomings. You know?
A lot of the time.
And it's kind of annoying because it's like everyone has shit they're going through. Like,
for sure.
You as a painter, me as a whatever, it's like there's things that will kind of like test you, and it's a testament to like the passion of the artist to be able to get through adverse situations and stuff. Have you ever had like something hard that you've had to go through dealing with the painting or wanting to continue to paint?
Something hard.
Like, was it hard when you had your kid?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now. Like, as opposed to like an obstacle in my life, because before I had a kid, I was painting, but like I wasn't, like I said, I was procrastinating a lot. I wasn't doing it like how I should. I wasn't focused, but I am really blessed to have a kid. I think I really needed that in my life, because now I'm always home. Yeah. Like, I'm literally like, I'm always home, and he keeps me like focused. Yeah. Because now it is an obstacle to do it with a kid. Trust me, like it's really hard, but at the same time, like, he's helping me too. Like, because I don't go out. Like, I don't ever go out anymore.
It's like he's kind of, without trying, keeping you accountable for yourself. Yeah.
And like keeping me focused, and like, this is my job. Like, now I take painting as a job. Like, sometimes I don't want to do it, or like I really like, but what I do is like, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna take a little break, I'm gonna eat something, you know, and then I'm gonna get to painting like for this time. But also, it's kind of hard to balance it all and then like still have a kid, because your kid also wants your 100 percent attention, and they're
on top of what they want to do.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's like, I'm not even gonna lie, it's really hard being a mom and pursuing a career. Right. But I think he's helping me too in a way.
Yeah, I had a guest on. His name is DJ Lund, and he has 3 kids, and like I've noticed him from afar for a while. Like, I fuck with him for a while, but you know, I see him having the kids keep him on top of shit.
Yeah,
like,
for
he's
sure.
like always going, and I'm like, I had to ask him. I was like, how do you, like, is that what keeps you motivated? Because like, I find myself procrastinating a lot because I don't have that pressure of like, other than myself. You know, I have my dogs and stuff, but you know, they adapt really easy because they're young mentally, but they're grown. Like, they have survival instinct. But to have someone like depend on you so much, it's almost like you have to keep going.
You know what I think it is for me? Like, my son wants all of my attention, so then whenever he's sleeping and I have my time for myself, I want to paint.
Oh,
like,
really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's not that like I have to do this for him. Like, I was just like fuck, like, oh, he's sleeping. Like, now I can do what I want to do. Like, so it's like it's more like I do it out of love, because like now I appreciate my time, and like every time that I have free time, I paint, because I'm like, I have the time. That's what it is. Yeah. Like, it's not kind of like I'm doing it for him, like for his future, because you really don't know if you're gonna make it. Like, it's like, you know. But I just know that whenever I get that time to like shower and like eat and like do what I want, I'm painting. Like, it's like a lot of parents out there might relate to like just doing, like, you have to pick and choose what you want to do whenever.
Is it like kind of therapeutic for you to pick up the brush?
It's therapeutic, but it's like, it's fun to me. Like, I challenge myself. Like, I'll see something and I'll be like, I want to put it on, you know, on something, and I'll do it, and then I'll try to do something harder, or like just challenge myself, and yeah.
When you say harder, like what to you is hard when you're painting?
Teeth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's hard about it?
The like not all teeth are just white. Like,
Yeah.
So and eyes, like since I like to paint a lot of portraits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if
For
you
real?
don't, if you don't get the eyes right, like it could be a different person.
Yeah.
So it's
even
just
just
those
drawing
little
too.
details.
It's like the eyes are fucked up. It's like
anything like that's my challenge is like making it as realistic as a picture. That's what I pursue. Like in my art, I want to make it to where people are like, is that a picture? Like that? I want to reach like perfection. I know it sounds crazy, but like I want to like make it look legit. Like I was no offense to all that, but I see some art out there and it's like doing portraits and then like they look nothing like that person.
Yeah.
But it's like close, but I'm just like I can do that.
Yeah, it's like the Skechers brand of a recreation type shit.
Yeah.
As opposed not like technique, but just opposed as the image is like the lines that you need to follow, like just a little bit more, it would have made it look a little more realistic type shit. Yeah. I understand that. I had to do portraits I took an art class in high school. Just because, not like I needed it or whatnot, but like we had to sit around in tables and do portraits, like 10-minute portraits of people and shit. And I guess a lot of people weren't artists in those classes, so they didn't really understand how to create a portrait. Yeah. And for me, like I always broke it down to be like, like if I was to draw you right now, what I focus on is your lines. Like the hairline kind of outlines your face, and then the jawline and stuff like that, and then I put your eyes and then your nose and then your lips, and then I do the details type shit. Yeah. And that's how I always approached it. And to me, that's like the easiest way to get a realistic portrait is just to follow the lines and then fill in the detail afterwards. But yeah, I got kind of like my teacher kind of recognized me like, oh, that's good, whatever. And I look at other people and I'm like, they kind of make it look harder than it is. Yeah. But I don't know if that's because...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like how? They make it... Well, they're recreating the photo. Like if I was to draw you, or if they were to draw you, it would look like it was harder to do that than it is for me to actually do it. And I think that's just because I have like an artistic background. Yeah. Because like even with music or anything, like I see people they take my camera sometimes to shoot for me, and I'm like, why does this look bad? Like,
I know exactly
it's like,
what you mean.
Dude, like it's not hard to me, but you're making it look hard. Type shit.
I think just because you're naturally creative, like, okay, I was gonna ask you too, like, do you think it's like hard because you're really like, I guess, like, naturally good at everything artistic? Like, you're doing videos, you could do music, like, you're a photographer. Like, do you think it's harder, as in for your career, to just focus on one thing rather than, like, you know?
Yeah,
than
it
just
is.
Like a lot,
it is.
Right? Yeah, I think
that's what kept me from, like, knowing what avenue to go to.
Because my art teacher that I had in college, she told me, she's like... Because I was doing fashion design in college. And then all the classes that I liked were just my sketching class and then, like, my art class. And my art teacher was like, you really need to switch over to art. Like, just switch over to art. Just switch over to art. And I'm like, yeah, like, I want to do that. And she's like, do you want to be mediocre in, like, a lot of things? Or do you want to be really good at one thing? And that stuck with me. I was like, you know what? Like, that is true because... If you like, I get that you're like not just a one-trick pony, you know, but like if you focus, I think starting off on like one thing and make it perfect, then you can like spread and like.
Yeah, I think that was my issue because I like doing a lot of shit, but I've never really mastered anything. Yeah. I would say the closest thing I've become to master is the music because I've kind of like learned that that's more of my passion. Like I like doing all this, but I haven't spent the time or the energy to like perfect the craft of photography. Like I know a lot of shit about it, but I'm not investing enough time to say like yeah, I'm professional. I'm like, yeah, people look at me and they see my shit and they're like, oh yeah, he's a professional photographer.
That's because people don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, no, like, I'm not at a point to, like, I'm professional because I'm not spending the time. I don't have the energy or the passion for it.
Yeah.
To do that, like, with, because I started doing videos and music videos and stuff, and, like, yeah, I can do it, but it gets to the point where it's, like, it becomes tedious work, and then I'm like, maybe this isn't it for me. I can do it, but I don't really enjoy it as much as, like, with music. When I have downtime from work, my most exciting feeling is like, yeah, I can go make a new song type shit, you know, as opposed to like, fuck, I got this video I gotta edit, or I got these photos I gotta do type shit.
I think that's what, like, creatives, the work is the tedious work. Like, not the, you know, going out and, like, shooting or, like, you know, doing all this, but it's like whenever you have to, like, work and to put it out, I think that's what's, like, fucks everybody up. Like, you're like, fuck, like...
Yeah, that's the editing process for sure.
Like, I don't
for me, anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. I have to go to the restroom.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right?
All right.
I'll just get over a little.
Okay. And we're back.
Okay, so
Technical difficulties.
I had to go to the restroom.
So, like, with your art, did you... I guess when you started, did you ever think that this would be your career path?
Hell no.
That it would just be like something you do on the side for pleasure or what?
Yeah, because when I started doing it seriously was because I've always been really good at you know, drawing. Because so in high school, like, I would draw a lot, but like for myself, like I would have like a sketchbook. I started off with like pencil, and then I did like color pencil and marker, and then it wasn't until I graduated high school that like I did my first thing like with color pencil, and I thought it was really cool, so I posted it on Instagram, and then a lot of people were like, "Whoa, like I never knew you could." Yeah, it's still there. Oh, yeah. They're like, "I never knew you could do that. Like I never knew you were like an artist." And I'm like, yeah. Like, for me, I was, like... I was kind of, like, surprised that it was getting the attention that, you know, like, it got. But then, like I said... So then, you know, like, once you, like, post something and then people think it's cool, and then I'm like, okay, like, I started posting my other shit, and then they were like, oh, like... Some people would be like, let me buy that, or, like, do you... And I'm like, what? And it wasn't until then that I started taking it seriously, and then I would... you know, like, on Instagram... You would meet other artists that were already doing it. So then you're like, and then they were selling their art, and like you'll see, and I'm like, what? Like, I could do that. Like, I want to do that. Yeah. So that's how basically it started. I didn't start painting though until I think like the end of 2014. I did my first painting, and then it was like I fell in love. It was really easy.
So when you did color pencil, like what I guess transitioned you to paint?
The space. Like, because at the time I was living with my ex-boyfriend, and like he would play video games, and then like I would draw on the bed. Like there wasn't...
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So it wasn't until like we broke up and like I started living with my friend, and like she had a whole like house. Right. So then I went and I got like a big ass canvas, and like the space, like, you know, I was really always intimidated with like painting because of the blending. Like I was like, what if I mess up? But now I know like you can like cover it up. But yeah,
I just don't like the dry time, like having to
there's no like I guess also like learning how to paint smart. Because there's
paint thin layers, I guess, of color.
Yeah, like, I think, okay, like, the way that I paint is, like, a backwood, like, let's say. A lot of people always say, how do you make it look like that? And I think it's, like, layering. Right. So, like, a lot of people paint, and then they, like, do one layer, and then they're like, and, like that's... But they don't know, like, the more paint... It's kind of like makeup. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the more... You don't want to know, but, like, the more layers of foundation you put, like, the more full coverage.
See, that's what's hard for me to understand with painting is, like... the layers.
Yeah.
Because like
There's layers.
with the drawing, it's like you just I guess with drawing there are layers, but not like the paint. Because with drawing with graphite, it's just like one color, so it's like you can't really tell too much. But
for me, what I learned was like on a canvas, there's little like dots, like there's a texture to the canvas.
Yeah.
So then I realized like the more paint I would put on it would dry, and then like if you want to blend good, you have to set the base like
make it kind of flat, smooth.
Yeah. So then whenever you put like the other color, like it's like you don't see the dots. Like I don't know, it's weird. I learned like just by trial and error, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like just but it was so easy.
So like with your first experiences with the painting, as you were learning, did you just like throw those ones away, or did you reuse or make better?
I've honestly always made better. Yeah. I've always the first painting I ever did was like an Alice in Wonderland painting, and like it's really big, and like she's like doing cocaine. But
you still have it?
No, I sold it.
Oh shit! Yeah. Nice.
I know, but
your first painting too, right?
My first painting.
Crazy.
But yeah, like I don't even know what you asked me. What did you ask
about
me?
like I don't even remember either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But so like with my painting, I never got to the point. I've never spent enough time to really learn about setting the base layer.
Yeah.
I always use the canvas as the base layer and like build on top of it.
Yeah.
I never was really happy with my work, but that's probably based off of not really knowing how to use the medium properly.
Yeah.
And it's not just the paint, like the canvas is part of the medium, or whatever type of canvas is part of the medium.
Yeah.
Whether it be like an actual canvas or a piece of paper or like wood. For the most part, I feel like acrylics are usually painted on porous materials as opposed to like a piece of linoleum or something.
Yeah.
Like it's usually on something that kind of like absorbs and kind of adheres to the paint.
It, like when it dries, it's kind of like plastic. It's like
I have like with the I have one of those little paint things you have on your hand with different colors and shit, like a real cheap one.
What is it called?
It's like a palette or something, something like that. And like when the shit would dry, sometimes I would just like put paint on it and then peel it off, and like I put it in a jar and shit like that. Just like because I saw someone post something on Instagram of like all their extra paint things, and they put it in a jar and like all these different colors. It looked really dope. My shit didn't, because I did like there was some brown, so it's like ugly brown in there. But yeah, like most of my stuff is like pop culture, and I did like Reptar.
From the
Rugrats. Yeah. And then I did one with Rocco and Spunky, like them hugging. And then a video game called Worms. I think they're pretty dope. And then like a Dragon Ball Z thing.
You know what's funny? Okay, like whenever I was younger in elementary school, like cartoons were like not it. Do you remember? Really? I don't know if it was for you, like the same thing. Yeah,
I'm 33 though. So
I'm 23.
So like
in 10 days.
Yeah.
It's my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, like okay, whenever I was in school, like you know how like kids want to be grown up really bad?
Yeah.
Like so I remember like watching cartoons like or like those type of cartoons that are popping now. Like watching them back then, they're like, "Oh, you watch baby shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then now that we're like older and shit, and like it's like, oh, that was my shoe. You know, like it's kind of like it's weird.
Yeah.
I know I'm not like the only one.
No, I feel like a lot of people were saying that, but
just
we're
to
probably
not feel like baby,
but we're probably watching that shit themselves.
That's what I mean.
To be able to relate to that, like you're watching behind the scenes, but you're still calling me a baby type shit. Like, nah.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that too, because like I think I mentioned it earlier about like it wasn't the cool thing to do that type of shit back then, because everyone wanted to be on the latest trend and blah blah blah. But it's like that shit is so temporary in regards to like what we enjoy in life, and what we enjoy in life is like mostly nostalgic because it's all memories, you know. So to be able to bring like childhood and happiness back, it's I think it's allowing people to be more free and open with what they like, as opposed to like, oh shit, like I can't like this because my crowd will say something about me, and it's like, no, you can be unique and be proud that you're eclectic nowadays, and it's so freeing. Because for a while I was like, fuck, I can't tell people I like me, I like stupid shit. Like I watch Roseanne and I watch Everybody Loves Raymond. Like I have these stupid sitcoms that I enjoy watching. And I don't mind saying that anymore. Like,
see
a
what I
few
mean?
years ago, I was like, no, I can't say that.
Yeah, I watched that.
But like, it's just so dope and that's why I like to think about the kids' futures, because it's like, damn, they're probably gonna be able to grow up a lot less confined. When they're around their peers and shit like that. But then again, like I don't know how it is having kids of an age where like they're being influenced by peers and stuff, because I'm sure like little kids, they don't know yet the difference between cool and not cool. So
see, I remember from like my childhood, kids didn't want to be kids. Like girls didn't want to be like a baby. Like they wanted to. You know? Even
nowadays, you see like 14, 15-year-old girls
That's
like imitating adults. I'm like, when I was young in the 90s, like us kids we didn't have like phones and shit, and YouTube wasn't out yet, so we had to be kids.
I think kids now are growing up way faster, because like if you even like every generation, it's like even more like you see the kids or the girls like 13 looking like 20-year-olds, or like using makeup. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I believe in like whatever self-expression, but like to a certain extent, kids should like. I loved the era I grew up in, because it was like, I don't know, like okay, so my sister and we grew up like in the 90s, and like my mom would like dress us alike or like pick our clothes. Till we were like, I kid you not, like till I was like in middle school. And like now, like kids wanna, like you see girls going to prom and they're like wearing like all these, like our prom dresses were like poofy, like cupcake. It's like, it's just keeps getting
nowadays
like,
it's
more
like
advanced.
they're going to like a
club or something.
A club or like they're all dressed up like, holy shit, are these, where are they going? Like first off, I look at them like, where are these people going? Then you realize like, oh, prom, like what? These are high school kids? What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, for me, that's kind of scary. Even at my age, I'm scared to have kids because
it's scary.
This social media has yet to be tamed. Yeah. And you hear a lot of stuff that's like really scary stuff, and
I think it has to do a lot with how you raise your kids too. I don't know what it is. I'm a new parent, and I just hope my kid, like, he doesn't really get, like, how do you say, like, ruined? Or, I don't know, because...
Influenced
influenced early or stuff like that. Because nowadays you can see everything online. Like,
did you grow up with, like, were you able to be open, and were your parents open with you as far as, like with my mom, I never got the sex talk, or my dad never got the sex talk, never mentioned, like, no drug talk, nothing like that. It's like kind of assumed that you should know not to do certain things or act a certain way. But for me, I'm like, am I going to be the type of parent to smoke with my kids, to drink with them, or expose them to things, Like, what type of parent do you feel like you're going to be when they get older?
Like my parents never gave me the sex talk. My parents never had an uncomfortable talk with me. Right. Like I could never go to my parents. I never even went to my mom whenever I got my period. Like like
what?
Like
things. You dealt
like
with that on your own?
My sister.
Oh, okay,
I'm really thankful that I had my sister, because my sister is the one that gave me the sex talk. She gave me like the drugs and like.
Who told her though?
Herself.
Dang.
Yeah. She actually like went through a lot. Like I think the first kid is always like the test dummy, or like not
right.
the test
No,
dummy,
no, yeah,
but
yeah.
like they have to go through a lot, like
Yeah.
because they're like, you know, they figuring shit out for themselves, you know. But like for me, my parents, I love and appreciate my parents, but for me, my parents were like parents. Like I never, like, if I had a problem or like something, I would never go to them. Like I think like social
They're more
media,
of an authority figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I report to you and like
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
They were not like, you're my friend, and I want to be the type of mom that's like, you don't have to tell me everything. Like I know there's gonna be an age where like you want to keep some stuff to yourself, but I want you to be able to come to me with any question. Like, you know, like what's weed? Like my boyfriend and I were talking like, what are we gonna do when our kids start asking, like, you know, like
that. I think about that a lot, even though I don't have kids.
Yeah, like what are we gonna do when they start like, what's weed? And I think I'm just gonna be honest, like, you know, it's this, and like, I think by the time that he's curious, it's gonna be legal. You know, like
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So I think I'll like tell them what I'm scared about is like other drugs, but like I'm pretty sure like I was never interested in like.
So you don't feel like weed is like a gateway drug?
No.
I don't either. I think alcohol is more a gateway anything.
Yeah.
But that's I definitely think about that myself, because I feel like if I was able to be more receptive and open to be able to even, like, I wasn't even comfortable going to my parents about this, let alone them not being comfortable telling their kids. So I want to be like, not like the cool dad to be the cool dad, but like the cool dad to be able to like let these kids know what's what at a young age, so they can grow up with a conscience already developed before they get into that situation.
Yeah.
As opposed to like with me and probably your sister, like having to grow up and learn this shit on your own, kind of knowing what's right, kind of knowing what's wrong, but not really until like experiencing it, and then getting a solid like, oh shit, that was wrong. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, you know. And some stuff I regret, but then in the long run, I'm like, I can't really regret something that I went through to learn how to handle something, or even like give experience to someone. Like I had a girlfriend that was 7 years younger than I was, and it was just so fucking annoying to deal with her because she didn't go through life yet. She had like just graduated high school and shit, and I had gone through all this stuff, but like at that age I wasn't able to teach properly. Like I was like, fuck, you're not supposed to do this, or you should do this, blah blah, instead of being like more supportive for their journey and their growth. So with that, like even just like with the girlfriend that's younger, like being able to deal with people younger than me and my experience to be able to transfer that to them with the knowledge of like they can take this information, but I can't expect them to follow what I want them to do, because I wasn't like that.
Yeah, because people are gonna do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's something to, once you accept that, it's like, cool. Now I can just worry about myself and not expect so much from other people.
Yeah.
Because expectations with other people, I think you set yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, when you realize like people are who they are and they're gonna do what they do, and accept them and love them for them, then it's like, okay, you know, that's just who you are, and let's just move forward from that.
I think that's what like real love is. Like also like now being a parent, like your parents, no matter what, they're always gonna fucking love you. Yeah. Like no matter like you go to jail or like you do this or you do that, like that's like the unconditional love. Like they love you for you, and like you fuck up and like they're still gonna be there. Like they might like not agree with everything you do, or like
they might be angry or whatnot,
but they're like never gonna lose that like love or like that connection. Yeah.
Because that's even on a smaller scale of life, like with my dogs and stuff, if they fuck up, which they haven't in a long time, but it's like, fuck, I can be mad for a second, but I can't like continue that, because not only, it's like the saying where like holding grudges and stuff, it's like holding a piece of hot coal. the longer you hold it, the more it hurts you.
Yeah.
So just get rid of it type shit.
See, that's what I also think. I feel like as, like, you know, how you're like a father of a dog, you know, like whenever they do something bad, like they don't know, you know,
yeah,
and you get mad.
Yeah.
But like I feel like how you react shows like a reflection of like your patience and like who you are, because like you do have to understand like, okay, like fuck, like they don't know, but you're mad obviously, but like the way you handle the situation, I think has to do a lot with you.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of situations, a lot of people's characters. Like I feel I'm a good judge of character, because I've kind of been able to develop that over the years. So like I can tell real quick like my response, how my response needs to be.
Yeah.
Because everyone's different, and so you have to approach everyone in a different manner.
Yeah.
And yeah, but like it's kind of fulfilling to me to have gone through that and be able to like facilitate so many people in different ways, like not just like a production tip or like creative tip, whatever, but just life in general.
Yeah.
And life is the most important thing, and it took me a long time to realize that, and especially like for yourself. I don't know how it is like parents' perspective, but like for me, when I hit 30, that's when I kind of like was like fuck everyone's opinion.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, you don't look 33.
Thanks, but I think that's just the Asian in me. But
it's very true.
Yeah, when I hit 30, I was like, man, fuck it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm gonna do what I want. And when I was able to let go of that, like, oh shit, like what are they thinking? I was able to release all of my insecurities about my creations to be able to be a facilitator for other people, other creatives. And it took me to be able to love myself and love what I'm doing to realize like I can do this for other people and help them along the way. And it's kind of become like a second nature thing to like people. I'll talk to people and they're like, damn, I didn't think about that, or damn, thanks for this talk. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like that makes me feel good, because it's like I'm able to make an impact based off of life experience, and I'm able to like make people happy. And I don't know, that's like good for me. Yeah. Because it makes me happy.
I'm definitely not 30 yet, but I've heard a lot of women are like 30 is like you love like 30, like
so you're still young. So what I've told other people is like
I'm still fucking up.
Well, that's what the 20s is for.
Yeah.
Like the 20s, I think back about my 20s, I'm like so I was kind of naive, but I think it's necessary because it allows you to broaden your horizons of what you can do. Like it's 20s is full of potential.
Yeah.
30s is when you realize reality.
Yeah.
And it's like all these avenues that you can do may not be your thing, but at least you were exposed to it. And when you're at 30, it's like, okay, I should know by now what I can do and what I enjoy doing. And once you're able to reach that, it's like, cool. I know who I am now.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I can be this or I can be that. Like, nah, I am this now.
Yeah.
So there's only like in the 20s you can go left, you can go right, you can go back a little bit, but in your 30s it's like you're at the top of the tree, so you can only go forward and reach, you know. So look forward to that.
I know, I'm excited. I'm happy that, like, are you happy that, you know, a lot of people in their 20s don't know what, like, did you know you wanted to be this creative person in your 20s or no?
No, not at all.
You didn't?
I went to school for architecture. I thought I was going to be an architect and live in, like, the corporate world, but...
See, I'm, like, blessed to have a talent. Like, I used to be really depressed whenever I was in high school. Like, all my high school, I was really depressed. And then, like, also, like, graduating that. But, like, I got kind of happier, you know, but, like, doing, like, drugs and stuff like that. But I was always, like, depressed for no reason. Like, I think there was, like, I don't even know why. Like, my parents are together. I never had, like, a close loss in my family. Like, I think I was depressed because, like, everything was perfect, that my mind was like, there's something wrong. Like, something, like, it, you know, like, it was, everything's, like,
were
okay.
You kind of thinking, like, something's about to pop off?
Yeah, like, or, like, something, there has to be something wrong. Like, something has to be wrong. And in that way of thinking, like, I fucked up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because I would have anxiety of, like, something going wrong, that I would cause something to go wrong.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, okay, so I used to be really depressed. But then, like, now after I had my baby and, like, my kid, I realized, like, I am really, like, blessed to have a talent and, like, know what I'm doing early on, because people in their 20s suffer with, like, depression because they don't know what they're doing. Or, like,
and then they have a lot of pressure on top of them.
Yeah, like, they don't know who they are yet, like, who they want to be, like, what they want to do. Like, everybody's just, like, you know, like, trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah.
But I'm, like, now, like, I don't really need to be sad for anything. Like, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I have to take advantage, you know, to, like, keep going for myself.
So I don't think then turning 30 would be, like, such a big milestone for you as opposed to, like, a lot of other people. And, like, I think, like, as you were talking about that, I was thinking about, like, when you're younger, you're influenced not by, like, pressure of society, but, like, pressure of parents, peers, the future in general. So, yeah, I can understand how it is.
Definitely peers, because, like, we all compare success with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing this, or, like, I remember whenever I was in school, and, like, I would hear, like, my friend, like, I'm in school, and I'll be, like, in my head, I'll be, like, fuck, like, they're in school, like, they're so successful. Or, like
you're
I'll
in
just
school, and you're supposed to be in school, but I'm not, like, fuck.
Yeah.
Man,
Or then they'll ask me, like, what are you doing? And at that time, I was, like, working at Chase. And I was just, like, I'm just working at Chase. Like, you know, like, I wouldn't be, like, it's, like, a proud thing, like, or, like, an achievement. Like, everybody wants to be doing something, like, good.
I feel like maybe a lot of people also mention what they're doing to see, or to be able to compare how they're doing with someone else.
Yeah.
Kind of make themselves feel better if they're in a better situation.
It's crazy how people, like, they, like, hearing somebody else having a shittier life and you makes you, like, all right, I'm not doing that bad.
Right.
Like,
it gives you justification for
like,
your life.
It makes you feel better, which is sad.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, I don't know, what the fuck, like, that's just the human.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of socially driven mentality for sure. Right, 1 second. But yeah, I really enjoyed growing up, and, like, I'm the type of person to enjoy the journey. Like, I don't really want the goal to come.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of success, because
Me too.
once it's there, it's like all the shit that we've gone through is, like, gone. You know, it's just a memory now.
Yeah.
And so I like to, like, with anything that I do, I like people to see my first works and see how trash it was, and then to see what I can do. Because not only just so, like, they can see the progression of me, but also so they can be like, damn, I can do that. You know, everyone starts somewhere, but a lot of people don't show that start. And a lot of people don't understand that people did have a start before they become who they are. You know? And like you see a lot of like you ever heard of G-Eazy? So Mecca, like, actually went to school with this fool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was, like, in his very first music video.
Oh, what?
But that was, like, the old G-Eazy. You know, and, like, when he got signed and shit, like, they took all that down, because I guess the label or whatnot didn't want everyone to see, like, who he was. And I was like, fuck, man, like, I always try to go back to find that, because, like, to see Mecca, you know, like, little kids, almost, well, younger and shit like that. But I like for people to see the whole progression of everything, because to me it's inspiring if I can be like, oh, damn, that's trash, but they're dope now.
I like to watch interviews, like, a lot, like, podcasts and shit like that, and, like, just I like to hear people talk about like their success and like where they came from and shit like that. But whenever I was younger, I never like was like, you know how those people that like they have that it, like they're like I want to be successful and like in front of. I was always like that shy like. Yeah. I'll let you take the spotlight, like you go ahead and do that. And then like now that like you know how like you want to interview me and I'm just like I never had that. Like I never like thought I could be that person. Like I never knew that. So like I'm very like I don't know, I never wanted this, but somehow like I have it and it's like I don't know, it's weird.
No, I understand that cuz even with me, like, I like the spotlight for a second. Yeah. I don't like to maintain it because that's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. And when I went to acting school, that's how I kind of realized, like, I like being behind the camera because, like, you have to be on a lot of the time. And then once I became comfortable with doing behind the camera scenes and realizing, like, there's more to this that I can do for myself. So that's when I started to become like in front of the camera. Yeah. And with that like knowledge of how it is behind the camera, I'm able to like be in front of the camera the right way. As well as like be with someone next to me as a guest and have them like be comfortable as well in front of the camera. Like you seem like this is not your first interview type shit, you know? So that's really dope because like I like to take a little bit of credit to that just by setting the vibe and shit. Yeah. So yeah, like this has been a dope interview. I guess we can like this is probably longer than all the other interviews and shit. But how do you think your first interview went?
It went good. I was like really nervous.
She was so nervous in the beginning. Like she was like, I'm so nervous and drinking her coffee and shit where she needed to go take a bathroom break. You know?
It's because I said, I've never been the one where like people wanted to know about me. Like I've always been like the one that like I'm a good listener because like I don't know, I like to listen to people, but nobody ever listens to me, which I'm like, I guess. Yeah. So I'm like just like nervous because I've always been like not the focus. So then now that I am, I'm just like fuck, like it's weird, but yeah, I love the fact that I'm a visual artist because I let my art be my like like people on my Instagram I try to keep it like as like not me. It's like it's just like my kind art. Professional, but a lot of people are like, you need to pose with your art, like you need to do this, and I'm just like no. But now people see me and like they know who I am and like it's cool, like they're like, oh, that's Slim, like you know, and I'm like
I'm realizing that too. Like even when Amon came yesterday, he was nervous and I was like, man, why are you nervous? Like we talked, we made music before. He's like, cause you're JohnnyB the Shooter. I'm like,
see, right?
Whoa. And then I wasn't expecting that shit.
I know. Yeah, I was like, I felt like honored, like that you were like wanted to interview me. I was nervous, cause I'm like, that's crazy.
Tight.
I know, it's crazy how like you think so much about yourself, and then like I wish I could meet myself from another person's perspective, right? Like, right. Like people know you like JohnnyB the Shooter, like they're like it's like. They see you as like a big deal, and then for you it's just like
like I don't see that, and it's kind of like a shock to hear
You're
that
humble.
type shit. I mean, like I don't know if I'll ever be able to like be comfortable with it, but it's cool to realize like people are actually paying attention to our work. You know?
It's really 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 cool to see that people fuck with you. Because like as like more that I like the more that I get out there and like the more that I post in my story, like you know how you can see how many views you have, like I have not a shit ton, but like I have a decent amount,
more than expected.
And I'm just like, whoa, like people, because I don't watch people's stories, like I watch like my close friends and shit like that, but like I don't ever like go like I'm gonna, what is she doing,
right
you know what I mean? So like with me, like people want to know what the fuck I'm doing, I guess because like I'm doing art and like it's like, and like you're doing something creative, so like for creatives it's like it's like, I guess that's like the satisfaction, like to know I'm doing something for you.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, on that whole IG story, watching or seeing people, like, that was surprising to me as well. Like, to see how many, like, it's not a lot as well, but it's more than the engagement that I'm getting on a post, you know? And I don't know if it's just, like, being a creative and people want to see the process, but...
Hell yeah, dude.
It's like, I don't think it's that interesting to watch, but people like, oh, shit, like... I've had a couple people be like, oh, shit, I feel like I can rap now because of what you're saying or what you're posting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with life right now?
No, but, like, I'm really honored that you had me on your podcast because, like, this is going to go far, I can see. Because I'm a YouTube person. Like, same. I'll, like, I love... All
the time, just,
right,
like
you're always, like, looking at, like, podcasts to watch. Like, I like to watch, like, No Jumper podcast. And, like, you know, other interviews, like...
Oh, shit, actually. Hold on. My bad.
Battery
died. No, but, like, I watch the same type of shit. Like, No Jumper all the time. And then the Joe Rogan podcast as well.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm really, like... I'm telling you, this podcast thing that you're doing is going to go far. And you know why? Because, like, people like... I like to watch other people, like, podcasts. Like, there's a lot of, like, people, like, for artists, being interviewed is, like, an honor. Yeah. Like, you know, and it's, other people want to see that, like, or then once you get, like, to a certain amount of, like, famous or, like, successful thing, have you noticed, like, once people get famous, like, their interviews get, like, more... Yeah. Like... They get more noticed and people click on it just because people want to know what you're doing.
And people want to know where you came from and stuff like that.
They want to, like, know everything, like, super fans. Like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Like,
that was, like, the main, I guess, draw for me to do this podcast because I wanted to show, like, the authentic person behind the art and shit like that. All right, here we go. All right, sorry, guys. The battery died. But the audio was still recording, so I might put that in under a technical difficulty thing. But what were we talking about?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like artists. Just your podcast being.
Oh yeah. So we were talking about like you like watching podcasts and stuff, and No Jumper, and like I watch No Jumper a lot and Joe Rogan a lot, and. I always watch those and I'm like, damn, their production is... To me, it looked like it was unobtainable because it looked so professional, right? And then I started to think about it more and I was like, man, like actually, I've been on set of like shows and stuff and I've been on TV a couple times. And
really?
Yeah, a couple times. But it's like, what you see... is like this. Like, all this extra bullshit in the background is, like, standard everywhere. It's just the location. Like, this is a different location in a studio. Like, a studio. But what you see, is the final product is what kind of, like, sets the tone of how professional or how it comes across.
This looks really professional, too.
Oh, thank you. Like, the only thing that I was scared about was, like, not having... different camera angles to pop to, but honestly, like that's something that can come later on. That's not too important. Like to me, the most important thing is the content being discussed. Like all this, like this is extra. To be able to see something.
I think that's cool.
That like I got this because I wanted to do music videos and shit in front of it, but then.
Can you put like floating things?
Yeah, I can do anything.
Okay, make mine like cool.
Okay, because I was like, I had this girl come over because she was doing flyers for her birthday, and I shot her in front of this, and she has a kid as well. I think he was like 4 or 5, and she was like, yeah, his birthday is next week or whatnot. I was like, yeah, you can bring him back, and I could put him like, you've seen Avengers, like how they're in the quantum realm. I can do that with this, no problem. Like.
Dude, I'm gonna hit you
Creative
up about,
shit like that, you know?
I never had my baby's first year photo shoot. I'm gonna hit you up on that.
Yeah, we can do that.
No.
We can either do it in the studio, because I also have a black screen as
Yeah.
well. I got the black screen primarily like for portraits and photos and stuff like that, because I feel like the green screen would be better for podcasts and whatnot, so I can change it real easy, and it wouldn't clash like with clothes like black or whatnot. But yeah, like I'm really excited to try different creative aspects with the tools that I've acquired over the years, because like these lights, I didn't buy these lights. A model actually, instead of paying me, I was like, just give me lights,
dope.
you know?
Yeah.
Because I knew the money would probably go to something else that wouldn't be like beneficial to the future. So I was like, all right, just give me equipment so I don't have like an excuse to not have the equipment anymore.
I fucking love that about creatives. Like, whenever you're like, oh, if you do this for me, like, I'll give you this, or like shit like that.
Even
like,
this was like given to me, you know?
That's dope.
And like I bought the frame, but like the green screen, I kept talking about it. My homeboy, he's not really into art, but he was like, hey, I kind of want to help you. I want to invest in you. I was like, dope.
Yeah,
and
dude,
green screen,
you got it.
Got me. I was like, crazy. And like it's kind of weird for me to accept like I'm a personality now, being a creative and like being in front of people. You know, it's because like
it's like naturally.
Yeah, but like being around like your friends or people you grow up with that aren't in this field, and they see what you're doing. It's like, for me, it's hard to separate like, oh, you're still my homeboy. Like we're cool together, but you're looking at me as someone like that you see.
Yeah. That's
kind of like unobtainable or unreachable or some shit. Like, I don't know. It's like a natural progression of the creative life, but you gotta take a step back sometimes and like allow yourself to bask in your accomplishments sometimes, you know.
That's true. But what we're doing, it's working. It's getting
I'm saying like it's exciting for the future.
It's exciting. I'm episode 8.
Just imagine like watching this shit like when you're my age, like 10 years from now. It's like, crazy. Whoa, that was me back then. Like
I know, I'm probably
I was thinking like that, and then your kid will be watching that and like, oh, mommy, that was you back then.
I know, right? That's funny.
But yeah, that's fun. So I guess this is probably the longest podcast. I think we'll probably cut it here.
Okay.
And so you said, wait, what are your plans for your art? Like, let's give you like a 5-year. Where do you see yourself in 5 years with your art? Yeah.
Successful and making money.
Yeah, like with your own business. And
so
everything.
I really, really, really want to get sponsored by Backwoods. So Backwoods.
Hey, have you been tagging them?
Yeah. Well, you know what? They don't have an Instagram.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they don't have
like any social media.
I don't know, but like so in Instagram, all I've seen is like people who sell like exclusive Backwoods. Like they have a lot of followers, but it's not like Backwoods corporate.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I would get a hold of them, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Like
I don't think I've seen any other people doing Backwoods paintings. Yeah. So you might be like one of the only ones, if there are.
I really want to like be either like work for them or like a creative something. You
that
know,
would
like,
be dope.
Yeah.
Because I tell people like even photos and stuff, I'm like, if you have a brand or something, like tag the brand. Yeah. You know, make sure that they're noticing, because I've seen a lot of people take photos like Coca-Cola and shit like that, and they'll get reposted and exposure and shit like that. I'm like, why not, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to do now, but like I want to do that's what I'm focusing now. But like I want to still do my art that I want to do on the side, and like that's what I've always been blessed with. Like everything that I've done has been not commission. Like I do it, and then out of the grace of God, people want to buy it. You know, so
dope.
I'm I'm thankful for that. But I really want to get sponsored by Backwoods. I want to go to shows that are like, I want to really focus on like smoking art, like because I've seen like a lot of people who are doing it, successful artists who like are doing, you know, like some kind of, you know, weed company is like, you know, paying them. I love smoking. Yeah. So that would be a dream to you know, combine that. But
Do you ever think about selling Backwoods like on your table?
On my, no.
You should.
I really should. I'm probably gonna do that.
You can upcharge it for sure, because just being the.
You're so right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so because you can upcharge, because like the convenience of having them there, because everyone's always like, you got a Rillo.
Yeah, you're so
Slim
right.
Katy got some Backwoods.
You're fucking
and the paintings and shit.
So I'm trying to do that, and like also I wanna upcoming, like I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on right now that hopefully you guys will see before. Maybe I really want to like have a gallery of my own probably by next year.
Nice.
And I don't want to sell any, like I have gotten offered a lot, not a lot, but like a lot of people offered me, for the Backwoods that I have, like the original ones, like the Tyler the Creator one and stuff like that. I have a lot more coming, like Wiz Khalifa and like, but I want to keep all the originals because I want to make a gallery, like, and then at the gallery I want to either like auction them off, or like sell them at the gallery, or like but I want to have a chance for people to go and like see my art, and then like in live.
I think so with like your art, I feel like a lot of novelty things would be dope to put your stuff on, because not everyone wants like a print of something. Like I like original, so I wouldn't. I don't like getting prints.
That's what sucks.
Yeah. So but like if you put it on something like the grinders and lighters and stuff, I think people would be more inclined to buy those, because like it is a recreation, but it's not like a print. You'd be like, oh, is that real? Like, no, that's a print. Like, oh shit, Not saying that you shouldn't sell prints, because I'm sure people will still buy prints and stuff, but I think a lot of the like maybe like a hat or like whatever I think would be dope.
I'm still gonna sell prints, but so what I'm learning, everything is coming really naturally for me, and like because I used to just do the Backwoods, just like the Backwoods, like
just
plain.
But
then now that I'm doing my own, like that's getting even more attention, and it takes even more time. So then now I love doing that because I'm combining like what I like to do with like the Backwoods type shit. So hopefully I want to have like, right now I'm working on a website, and I want to like have shirts are coming up next, and then prints, but I'm starting small, and then eventually
Have you ever heard of a shirt company called Beloved Shirts or something like that? They have like crazy patterns and stuff like all throughout the whole shirt instead of like just an image.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty dope to like have a shirt that's like full backwood picture.
Yeah,
like
I've seen
and back type shit.
Like Backwoods clothing, but like just like Backwoods, like not with like other shit on it.
Yeah. And your shit, like, I don't know, I like that you've naturally progressed to like allowing yourself to integrate you within, I guess, the corporate photo or corporate painting type shit.
I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm just like going with the flow, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and it seems to be like working,
Yeah. That's exciting. Oh man, that's so exciting. Because it's now like, fuck, you've inspired me to want to paint more. I don't know if I will, just because like it takes a lot of time, and it's like intimidating for me. But like I like that.
Yeah.
How you're just naturally progressing. I don't like when people force things, because I feel like if you're at a point where you're doing something and you're forcing something to come out of it, it's not for you. Regardless of how much you want it.
Yeah.
You just have to realize like, this isn't for me. Someone else does it better, or it's easier for them. So just enjoy them and find your niche in whatever you're doing.
For sure.
Because I found myself trying to force things a couple times. I'm like, bro, I need to step back.
Yeah.
This isn't for you.
But you have also inspired me. Like, now I want to go home and just start painting. Cause
hell yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't stop there, Like,
yeah. That's dope.
I'm going to keep, doing my thing. Oh, but I want to have, like, an art class, too.
See, I was thinking about, like, having, like, you setting something up for other people yourself.
I just need a manager or, like, somebody to, like, help me out with that.
I was thinking about that. I was like, fuck, I need a manager, too.
Yeah, like, sometimes you... See, I I think that's what it is about creatives. Like, they want to do the creative side, and like the business are like.
I hate the business
hate
side.
the business
Like,
side
that was
too.
the hardest thing for me to like set prices for photo shoots because I'm like, I don't
because you're
like,
humble.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, like,
Me too. I don't like
it's
charging
hard
people a lot. Yeah.
because it's like, fuck, like, I want to do this, but I don't want to like set a price and like scare people away.
Same.
You know, because I know my value, but people that aren't in our field don't understand how much it takes to create something.
Dude, yeah.
And they undervalue us.
Because they don't know.
Unintentionally, you know?
Like the Backwoods, I was selling them $20 a piece.
No.
Yeah, and then, you see, and then I would tell people, and they'll be like, this is worth like $50, $40.
No, it's more than that. Like.
See, but I'm like, you're right, because one of them takes me like a week to do, or like 3 days to do, you know?
Because the detail. You got all those shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's
but
not easy.
I also wanted to like make them affordable so a lot of people can have them. And then, like, the more people have them in their home and stuff like that, they'll be like, oh, this is the Real Slim Katy. And then, like, once I have that, like, platform, and, like, I can raise my prices up. Because right now, nobody knows who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
That's initially what I did with my photos, because I was working at this job that was, like, killing my artistic soul.
Yeah.
And once I let go of that, I started taking photos. That's where I got the name JohnnyB theShooter, is because I started with photos. And, I was doing like everything for free for like a month and a half, like draining all my money that I'd saved. But regardless of having money or not, like I was happy. And on top of that networking, I guess you can call it, that I was doing for other people taking all these shoots, like that's till this day, those people still fuck with me.
Dude,
and I fuck with
sometimes you gotta do shit for free, like to start.
You gotta put in that footwork and build your content. Otherwise, like, how do you justify your credibility, you know what I'm saying? Like, without putting in any work.
And to be honest, like I said, for starting off, I never knew I can make money off of this.
Yeah.
So like that's just a bonus for me. So like doing all this, like I do it for myself. Like I think the Backwoods look fucking cool on my wall. Like I like to I eventually.
Do you have your own gallery?
Yeah, I do.
Hell yeah.
I do. So if like in the future, I want those to be collectibles. Like people be like, hopefully I'll get big enough, and then, you know, whoever is lucky enough to have them, like they'll make a lot of money. Like it's like an investment, you know, like investing in art. I want people to want to own my art, like collect it, like like that, like these little figurines. Like I want people to like, I don't know, collect my stuff and like want it in their wall. Yeah. But yeah, like making them for me is totally fun. Like that's why making money off of it, I'm like, whoa, like that shit is crazy. Like,
it's like
that's awesome.
I'm making money off of just like playing.
Yeah, just like that's what sometimes whenever I'm just home painting, I feel guilty because I'm like, fuck, I need to be doing something.
Right.
Yeah,
right. I feel the same way.
You feel stressed out. You're like, I'm not doing shit, but at the same time, like you're doing like a lot.
Yeah. So. I think maybe you can like do tutorials or something, you know?
See,
give people lessons.
I want to do that, but like you said, it's the tedious editing and like the work. Because believe it or not, I started like vlogging and like doing like, go to Michael's with me and like, I like, what do I get? But I have all the videos, but I just need to put them together.
Yeah.
So maybe I can pay you
fun.
for that.
I mean...
to edit them for me.
We'll see. We'll see if I have the time. But like, I understand. Like, it's fun doing it. But like, that's the fun part. And then it gets to the work.
But like editing them and like sitting down and like putting everything together, it takes a lot of time. So that's
because have you video edited before?
I have, but like I'm a fast learner. Like so, I have like an iMovie and stuff like that, and I think it's pretty cool. It's easy, but it's just like, for me the hardest thing now is like, I have to get a laptop and like all that shit. Yeah. But I think you can do anything on iMovie. Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I haven't since I have this. I haven't really like dabbled in it.
Yeah.
And I just like it's frustrating on the phone for me.
I
don't like working on the phone too much, but
I do, but at the same time, on a computer, it's like realer.
Well, like once you get your computer, I got. We'll bleep this out because I don't want like any issues. But like I have the programs.
Oh, okay.
Cracked and shit. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I have a laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but.
But you also need like a certain like the specs for the laptop to be able to handle it. Like this computer is 4 or 5 years old.
Oh,
I'm able to do shit, but not what I want to do. So that's why that's also a reason why I didn't do a lot of shit, because I'm limited based off of what I have.
What do you think is better, PC or Apple? Doing like the whole video thing.
A lot of people say Apple, but I don't like Apple because I didn't grow up on it. I've been doing PC for the most part, and like they have, it's either Final Cut Pro on Apple or Adobe Premiere on everything else. And I've seen a lot of people, especially tutorials and shit, like they'll be on Adobe, but you can use Adobe on iMac as well, or Apple as well. But I don't really justify the price of Apple computers compared to what you can get for a PC. So
I don't know much about that. So like that's why I'm like, I don't know. I want to get a desktop like that. Yeah,
desktop is like laptop's cool and useful, but desktop, like if you're really trying to do some shit, it's almost a necessity because you need that home workstation and shit for power. But yeah, like if you need, like I can give you a crash course in editing.
I need that.
Because I know like Mecca, he wants to get a camera and shit, and I was like,
shout out to Mecca.
Yeah, shout out Mecca Jackson. But like he wants to get a camera. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me give you a crash course real quick. Because he's like one of the people that takes the photos and makes me feel like it's just a little harder than it is. But like he's creative, so it'll be easy for him to catch it. It's just like he's so all over the place with all the shit that he's doing.
Yeah.
Without like having a set down lesson, I feel like it's kind of like hard to retain. Because there are like a lot of technical aspects, but I'm not a technical person. I'm able to like break shit down in terms that people can relate to. You know, kind of simplify it but yeah. So whenever you need to create, just let me know, because I
will definitely hit you
and if you need like even if you want to take photos for your paintings and stuff for your website.
I do.
Once you get that, like, just bring them over and like we can set up some shots real quick. Like I have a white sheet for the background. I'm definitely
gonna take you up on that, because the ones on my phone don't cut it.
No. I understand. Like a lot of what we do, visual presentation does a lot. You know,
it does.
And people can tell nowadays, especially just by with how much saturation there is with that. Like they can tell like if it was professionally shot in the studio or it's like whatever. So I'm down to help whatever, because I'm the same way. Even without a kid, I'm at home all the time. I'm working on shit because first off, I don't have the money to go out. Secondly, I'd rather not waste time just like fucking off and do something creative like this. But yeah. So that was a long outro.
I know.
Like a 20-minute outro.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. This is like as long as we can be informative to people and like help inspire people, I don't mind how long it goes. But yeah, so how'd you think it went? Good? I
think it went good.
You down for another one? Come back with some paintings and stuff?
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah. But by then, hopefully, like, I'll be able to drop, and, like, if you have something to drop immediately, like, the podcast will come out in a couple days.
When is this going to come out?
This one, unfortunately, is going to be 2 months.
Oh, that's okay.
So you got 2 months, because this is, like, the 8th one. But,
I'm just so lucky to be a part of it.
Oh, I appreciate that. But I'm glad you
I'm, like, lucky that I made the cut, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, you're actually the first wave of people that I hit up, you know, just to get me started. Yeah. So I appreciate you coming through, because you're a different type of artist on this show than what I'm used to having. But anyway, with that being said, this has been episode 8 of the Stop Scrolling podcast. I am JohnnyB, the Shooter, your host, and today's guest was the Real Slim Katy. Yeah. Yeah. Waking up and I'm feeling like I'm just living out my dream.